What's going on, world? There it is. There it is. What's going on, world? Been inside since like 12 or something, like 12. Been indoors since like 12. I couldn't even tell you, bro. Like 12 o'clock, basically. Got to the library a couple minutes late. Wasn't too late. Grabbed the coffee, chopped it up. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite people at the convenience store over here. From Madrona, you know, it's my favorite people at the. I don't even know what this joint called. Like the deli or something. Over at the deli. So it's my favorite people over there. You know, let's chop it up with them. It's summertime, but you know, it's like 70s feeling like 80s type shit. That's what the weather is right now. 70s feeling like 80s type shit. So I don't know. Might grab more snacks. I don't know yet. I'm just standing around here wasting time. I might even grab the pad thai or something. I'm gonna wait for people to hop back in the chat, in and out, whatever. Like if they sit there and entertain this shit, I don't know. I might do it. They hit me with the entertainment, whatever. I'm gonna hit y'all with entertainment too. Grab me some food, whatever. You know? I don't know. I'm just like I was just watching there's a dude, man. If you guys know Paolo from Japan, Paolo from Tokyo, whatever his name is, the dude that does the vlogs. And it's actually like my cousin. My cousins on my extended family side, they're like family to me. Like I treat them like blood family and all that shit too. But apparently he's related to them around that side. So that's basically my cousin. You know what I'm saying? If I see him, I'll be like, oh, you know what so and so and whoop de wop. He's like, yeah, but like that's my cousin, my lulas too. I was like, I guess you know, it's like if it's all right, man. I'm just considering you family from afar. I'm gonna just say that to him. He don't owe me nothing. I'm just saying it's one of those. You know, he don't owe me nothing, but you just I want to like introduce myself that way because it's a small world, man. I was literally watching this guy's vlogs, and then I talked to my cousin, and he's trying to take a trip to Japan, so he's been studying a bit, and then he tells me he's like, you know, that dude in that vlog, that's our cousin. I was like, I didn't even know that. I swear to God, he's like, yeah, that's we related to bro. I was like, that's crazy as hell. So I was just anyway, I just got done watching one of his videos about Hokkaido, and he was just eating all this food. I was like, bro, this food look hella good, but you know, all I got within distance and within a price range at the moment is probably some Thai food, which isn't bad. But I'm like low key, I wanted some you know, some fried crab or whatever they had over there. Some they had some good looking food in the video, so that's what I was thinking about. Next, Kibo, what's going on, man? Thank you for dropping in. Thank you for dropping in, bro. Appreciate you being here. What state, man? It's Washington State, man. We're in Washington State. You know, it's decent weather right now. West Coast summers, Pacific Northwest, nonetheless, but West Coast summers, you know, it's a nice weather right now. Yeah, I heard Washington had a kidnapping yesterday, but he wait, what? My bad. Hold on. Optic, what's going on, Optic? Thanks for dropping in. They had a kidnapping. You talking about DC? You talking about the Washington DC or talking about Washington State? I don't know. You know, it's funny because we usually get Amber alerts. I don't know if I got one yesterday. That's interesting though. That's really interesting. But yeah. Oh yeah. Shout out to you, Optic. Thank you for dropping in. Legendary T13, T13. Jack's Aviation. Hello, mate. Where you coming in from, man? You from down under? That's crazy. Appreciate you guys dropping in. Yeah, just walking around. Like it's like it's actually a couple hours away from sunset, which is interesting. Um, it's like what do you call this? It's no, my bad. Trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. But yeah, it's a oh, hold on. Washington State. There was kidnapping shit, but yeah, he woke up. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Sydney. Okay, Sydney, Australia. Um, the sunsets here are like closer to like 9:30. So it's kind of cool that like everything's like later now. So we're getting as much sun as we possibly can, which is a good thing, you know, for me. You know, I think it's a good thing. Like I need as much as much sunshine as I can get, as much sunlight. You know, the weather's always going to be like fresh air and whatnot. I thought that was the bus honk, and I was like, I had to do it twice. But anyway, the kid woke up from his nap. Oh, that's what you mean? That's crazy. Whoa. So he was asleep and got kidnapped. What the fuck? That's crazy though. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. That happens though. You know, especially like kids just had a vulnerable time. Yeah, you're just trying to sleep and then you get snatched up. I'd be fucking mad as hell too. I was a little kid and got snatched up by while I'm trying to nap. I'd be fucking pissed. Some kids figure it out though. Some kids figure out they're getting kidnapped and they're like, "Oh, I gotta figure it out," and they just start running away hella fast. There was that one girl who found a way to chew through the fucking rope and then she just jumped out the van or whatever. I think it's somewhere near DC, Baltimore. This like years ago. Just fucking crazy. But same thing. She just found a way to get out. Asked somebody for some change. Told them the situation. She got on the payphone real quick. This is like years ago, and she just hopped on the payphone and just like, I don't know who the fuck snatched me up, but here I am. Like this shit crazy. So yeah, that shit crazy. Yeah, man. Nah, bro. I'm messing. Tell someone or you're from X. I heard there was a kidnapping, but he woke up. Wait, what are you talking about? Saying the same thing. It ain't funny no more. I'm from messing. Wait, what? Tell someone you're from. Wait, what is going on? I don't even know what dude's talking about. Anyway, let me know if I'm reading that right, Max. Let me know if I'm reading that right, man. But yeah, I spent a good like 6 hours locking in. It was interesting because I had a what's it called? I had like the old, not old, but like the newer idea. It's an old idea, but I was gonna do it a little different and new this time with everything I have going now. So like I'm finishing the Truancy cut Beyblade stuff, which is gonna be interesting. Um, First seed playoffs is left, and then pretty much the finals, the final four, will be decided soon. But there's actually all of these like vlogs and like past tournaments that I've been going to in the past couple weekends, past couple months, and they're all kind of on backlog, like back whatever, like they're on schedule or whatever. So my whole thing was I had them on schedule, had them all spaced out about every 4 something weeks. I sat there and I talked to some of the people who are actually the organizers for those specific tournaments. I was like, do you guys want to see them sooner or later? And some people didn't really care. Specific ones were like, hey, it's cool if you push it forward. So I was talking to them earlier. So there's gonna be some stuff coming on the way, like on Wednesdays and Thursdays, probably close to like 5 to 9:30, like in the evenings and stuff. You're gonna see different types of content, Beyblade vlogs that I had did. There's gonna be one tomorrow around 5 p.m. If it's not 5, it'll be like 9. So just pay attention to that in the evenings. My bad, I missed out. Again, Marquise, what's going on? Appreciate you dropping in. Thank you for dropping in. So that's the stuff I got working on. Dronzer Cup stuff, I had that going on Wednesdays. I'm still going to continue doing that on Wednesdays, or dropping those videos on Wednesdays because, I have to pre-record the tournaments. But what I had worked on today was actually it's a new thing where it's like kind of a team battle thing where it's like, it'll be 3 blades per team. There'll be a team mascot. We're going to do another draft. So it'll have a randomizer for blades, ratchets, and bits. We'll do another randomizer. The teams will be selected, the players will be selected, and they'll be drafted to certain teams. So, and then like later on, like the actual rankings and the actual like whatever, as the teams get like ranked, franchises will be getting ranked. Those things will be what do you call this? What's the word I'm saying, bro? Those teams will be documented, ranked, seeded, and then they will get like newer draft picks, or they'll get like some of the best players like later down the line. So it just comes down to what's like left and what's remaining out of the bunch. Um, but yeah, like I'm gonna sit there and develop some of the best players, some of the best. I guess they're not players; it's like the best teammates on each of those teams. It'll be 3-on-3, and it'll be kind of like best to scoring 4. You know what I mean? So someone could very well outspin. That's the thing that you got to think about. Someone can very well outspin their opponent the whole time. You can outspin your opponent, 4 times in a row. If you match it up with someone in the lineup, outspin them 4 times in a row, and you get those rematches, and then it messes up the rotation. That person gets kicked out. But when you win 4 outspins, that's 4 points only. But if you extreme them 4 times, you would have got 12. So the difference would have been an 8-point difference in scoring. So these are things to look forward to in the future. Basically, what I was saying was I was working on a lot of the paperwork, a lot of the scoring sheets that I need for my own, whatever when I'm actually working on the stuff. So you'll see, man. That's gonna be coming out soon. I don't know when. Like I got it. Like it's summertime, man. I'm trying to enjoy the sunshine right now. So that's why I have all this back catalog kind of vlog stuff coming out. So I have that working on that. Certain days where it drops to like 75 degrees, I'm gonna be in the house just working on the content. But like I said, we might pick up these new hours. When I pick up the new hours, bro, it's gonna be fucked up. I got Rob. What's going on, man? Hey, Rob, that shit was crazy last week, bro. I was like, I was talking to someone on a voice chat in Discord. I was like, what's crazy is it's like you can't even bring up, we can't even talk about what do we say? Diddy, Epstein, fucking Cosby, Mike Vick. You can't even say certain names without people just start throwing whatever flags and whatever. You know what I'm saying on it? That shit crazy as hell, bro. It's kind of funny. What's going on, Ryder? Appreciate you dropping in. Good to see you though, Rob. Good to see you dropping in, Rob. Yeah, I was sitting there at the library for like 6 hours. I was getting up every now and again. Like I would stand up, I would go to the other computer, print some papers. I was working on stuff that I needed to print. Spend a lot of money at the fucking printer, low key. It's like 15 cents a sheet, 15 cents a page, but at the same time, I was able to kind of, back and forth and whatnot. Um, but it's like 15 cents at a time. It charges the card five, but then like it only takes a certain amount when the payments are done or whatever, if that makes sense. So it's kind of funny. But yeah, I was printing out a lot of papers today, man. I was just working on some stuff. I was handwriting. I gotta do my thing. I gotta make sure I get my logistics right, get everything right. Yeah, man. I see they dropped their live. Yeah, it's crazy. See, I was worried because I was like, it was kind of warm that morning, and I was sitting in the same part, the same exact part, sitting in the sun, had the phone, and like I just kind of had it in hand, and I was like, this shit might have overheated. Come to find out, they just shut me down for a second, but the actual live is actually back up there, and I happened to do two lives that day that were like 20 something minutes a piece, but I don't know, man. We'll see if I end up still doing like these hours here and there. Like this hour is gonna count for something, so I'm not really mad, but I'm trying to space them out like every four and such days, 4 days minimum or so, 4 days most. I don't really know exactly, but we'll see how that goes, man. My bad. Let me make sure this is good. But yeah, so I got some different like Beyblade stuff that I'm working on. Um, my retirement is soon, man. Next week is gonna be July 27th and July 27th in 2024 is when I went to my first tournament publicly. Publicly hosted, whatever, publicly accounted for WBO World Beyblade Organization tournament, like all that stuff, like all that accountability stuff, whatever. Like me signing up for the website account, getting the account, and then being put up on the tournament list, and then getting a ranking, getting third place at my very first tournament, which is crazy, and then getting like a fucking gift and a prize for it. Like that was what really had me in there, because you got to understand, it was Beyblade PNW day one, and then day two would have been Sunday. I work Sundays, so the thing was when it was on Saturday, what happened was started off with plastics. So in the mornings, it was like we went straight into plastics. I brought my Dronzer from 2003. This motherfucker got smacked and flew outside the ring by one of the bladers. I was like, damn, this motherfucker lightweight. He can't even, this stock build is fucked up. And they're like, hey, man, swap the parts, yada, yada, do all that shit. I was still getting smoked. So I might have won like 1-4 or 1-3 type shit. And then I went to X and I had a little more luck, but I was borrowing some people's parts. And I wasn't doing that well. And then I got to burst. I was doing okay with what I had. But when I made it to finals, I had borrowed some parts from one of the guys that was just there, and he's like, "Do you want to participate?" I was like, "I guess so. I'm just learning this shit. I'm new to this shit." He just gave me some shit. I started cooking it. So shout out to my guy Neo. Ryder said they like, "Oh, I appreciate it, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for dropping in. As always, man. I appreciate people that drop in on the live stream. It's a little different than the normal content. The normal content you see on the videos is just, if it ain't the pre-recorded tournaments at the house that I'm trying to document, it'll just be me documenting some gameplay. Games that I grew up on. Trying to do all this stuff as much as I can, get them hours in here and there. So, when people tap in with the lives, it actually helps a lot, because it's just like little hours that I'm trying to stack on, and kind of I don't know what the word is, like compound and get monetized towards the future. So any likes and any whatever, all that stuff goes to something. So I appreciate it, man. Even people that just sit there and drop in on the lives like one at a time or like once in a while, like all that shit matters. Excuse me. It accounts for something. Because I was looking at my numbers, it's like they're going up slowly. It'd be like one extra hour at a time or two. I remember there was some days I used to go up like 8 and 9, and I was like really grateful because the math was mathing. But then I was like, you know what, man, I gotta slow down because for my own mental, my own mental and physical, I gotta make sure I'm taking care of things. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, Kendrick or Drake. I'm always say Kendrick because like I don't really listen to Drake like at all. I was a little confused back in like so the thing was I learned about Drake like right before Best I Ever Had. So this would have been like '08, '09, and like my friend was listening to his mixtapes. He was like, "This is the dude that used to be on Degrassi," and like my thing was I didn't have TV, so I'm like, "Bro, I don't have TV. I don't know who the fuck that is." He said, "Oh, basically it's just Little Jimmy or whatever. He used to be on Degrassi. He signed with Wayne. He's Young Money now." And I was like, "Okay, that's interesting." So this is like early. So all these mixtapes were coming out. It's the one where he has a little trench coat and it looks like fall behind him. And it's he had good ass mixtapes. I'm not gonna lie in front. And he was rapping and shit. And then I guess it's just like for me, I just was like I can't really pinpoint and figure out like what is his sound, like what does he do? Like I don't understand what he does. I felt the same way with ASAP. Like when ASAP Rocky had that mixtape and that album, I was like, bro, this music is hella good. This album is hella good, but I just like, what does he do? Because he doesn't produce this stuff. And if this is just him in his rap style and this is him freestyle, I don't know if I'm into that. I don't really see the skill in it because I was leaning more towards skill rap. You know what I'm saying? Skill hip hop and shit like that. So if the producer, the DJ, the rapper themselves or whatever, if there was skill behind it, I just liked it. But for whatever reason, like acts like Drake and ASAP just weren't up my alley, if that makes sense. So it's no shade to them. It's just one of those things where I just started listening to that shit. And I was like, I don't know, I don't. It's not really for me. But then I want to say so. I'm trying to remember this shit. I was like sophomore year. I think it was sophomore year. It would have been like 2009, 2010 for me. And my friend, he got he got kicked out of the house. His mom kicked him out of the house and said, "You got to move back with your dad in Oakland." So I sent my homie to Oakland for a year, and he would come back in the summertime. This motherfucker came back summertime. I had already dropped out sophomore year, so I was just walking around the streets and just I would leave the house and just pretend like I was doing shit, and I would just walk around. And every now and again I run into him, talk to him. And this motherfucker was like, he came back from Oakland one year. He's like, "Hey man, what new music you listen to?" I was like, "Man, I'm just listening to some of the same old shit." And I was showing him some newer stuff I found out, and we're just kind of swapping, music and shit. This dude was like, "Yeah, you fuck with Crazy Kendrick?" This is like 2011. He said, "Crazy." I was like, "Who the fuck is Crazy Kendrick?" We didn't know I didn't even know who that was. So around 2011, he showed me like Section 80. It's like 2011, 2012. So this is right before Good Kid, Mad City. Good Kid, Mad City would have been 2012. Yeah, so 2011 it was like Section 80 dropped in like July that year. So like I said, over the summer, homie came back from Oakland. He showed me all this music. He said he was showing me Overly Dedicated, Michael Jordan. He showed me Section 80. I was like, yo, this is right in my alley. You know what I'm saying? Because I grew up like my favorite rappers as a kid was like Tupac and Nas. Tupac, Nas, and anything that was like Cash Money. Like if it was like Juvenile, Wayne, and shit like that, that's all I fuck with. If it was a Manny Fresh beat, I fuck with it. If it was a Swiss Beats beat, Rough Riders, DMX, I fuck with it. And then like Nas and Tupac were like the highest, like all that shit. They saying some shit, So obviously, like you start hearing like everything from like Lupe, Talib, and then Kendrick. That shit just was translating right in my alley. I was like, oh, this is my shit right here. He was saying some shit, and then people like next year when Good Kid, Mad City came out, they thought that he was just on some like rap singy, not really like I don't say conscious, but like not really saying like thoughtful shit. And I had to play them. I was like, hey man, my homie put me on to Section 80 and Overly Dedicated, and this shit is hitting. Like, what the fuck? This shit is a different type of it's just different. So I was trying to show them that, and then it's interesting because I even told my friend I was like, listening to these two albums, the moment he puts out that first album mainstream release, it's probably not going to be at my alley. And I didn't mean that in a bad way. I just how I felt because I was like, listen, he really just gave us Overly Dedicated, which is before I learned about him, and then Section 80 this summer I learned about him, and then my homie's like he's about to drop an album next year. He's gonna put the album out, and I was like, listen, if it's gonna be big and mainstream, I'm probably not gonna fuck with it. Not in a bad way. I just knew I wasn't gonna fuck with it. But Good Kid, Mad City is one of the best albums ever. Like it's hands down one of the best albums ever. But if you were to say it's up my alley, I couldn't say it was as good as it is because I still bump that shit. But it's just not for me, if that makes sense. I knew people that was out there doing dumb shit. Back to the '80s babies things, back to the '80s babies, and just people that were just outside doing dumb shit, looking for trouble, looking for something to do. And I just happened to be raised by people who went through that, and they told me not to do it and told me to stay out of it. So that's why I say the album isn't for me. But if that makes sense, let me know if that makes sense, bro. I don't know if you're still chilling. So it's really interesting. That's why like certain like when you listen to someone like AZ or something, AZ is someone who you can tell like when they whoever he grew up with or whoever, you know what I'm saying, was in his corner, was basically telling him, hey, stay out the way, do things the right way, do things at a certain pace. You ain't got to move too fast. Just keep, you move, but you ain't got to move a certain. So that's why like AZ is kind of more of my alley, because it's just like I had people growing up that went in and out of jail and they told me stay out of jail. I had people that went in and out of trouble and they said stay out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? So I always had people like that in my life, and because of that, things like rappers like AZ, and when you like Lupe Fiasco, when you read between the lines, it's the same thing. Another person that's like, hey, stay out the way. You know what I'm saying? Yada yada. You get what I'm trying to say, bro? I came up on my bed, came up on some Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic cards trying to trade. You're trying to trade for some Pokemon. Yeah, yeah. You know what's crazy is some random dude. I was on voice chat with my friends, and then I'm sitting at the park smoking a cigar as I finished it. Some rando, and actually I know this dude from a long time ago. He always forgets me. It's like the third time I met him technically, but he just randomly like had this bag with like socks and like random shit, like he was a homeless dude. And he randomly put out a stack of magic cards, bro, and they all had sleeves on them. I'm like, this motherfucker hit the lick or something. I don't know. So he just has some magic cards on him randomly. He said, "You know how to play?" I was like, "I don't even know." I pretend like I didn't know what it was. I was like, "I don't even know what this is, bro. I don't want to sit there and talk magic with you right now." But it's funny because me and him were just vibing. He was drinking a whole bottle of wine, and he asked me to play some Gucci Mane for him. I was like, "All right." Started playing some Gucci Mane. This guy was chugging a random bottle of wine, something Belle Deville, whatever the fuck it was called. Yeah, there's some banger cards. You're not into them, yeah. The thing, I don't know much about magic. Like I remember seeing that shit as a kid, and there was always this, like, there's a group of kids that were into it, and like back then we just thought they were weird. But it's funny because them kids were ahead of their time. Those kids are like rock stars now in the magic world when you think about it, because they've seen early Wizards of the Coast magic releases, which means that like they know the real shit. It's like if you talk to us about 1998 Charizard type shit, we know about that. Like we were there when that pack came out. It's kind of funny. There's this one little girl that I shouldn't say little. She's like a teenager or whatever, but she takes our photography at the Beyblade meets, and it's funny because she'll sit there and she'll talk about these old cards. She's like, yeah, I think this was like 95 or 96, and I'm like, it's that's not the year, but it's just funny that she thinks that way. You know what I'm saying? It is hilarious to me. But yeah, that shit always cracks me up. It's just like you meet someone younger than you, like we're basically like a generation apart, and she's like bringing up shit that I grew up on. I was like, that's hilarious. I don't know. Oh, another thing was I was on the voice chat chopping it up with some of the fellow bladers and shit, and it's funny because we're about 5 to 10 years apart with some. Or at least I am. I'm 32, so I was like 5 to 10 years older than some of them, and they started bringing up shit, and then they're like, yeah, it's crazy. James was around for 9/11. I was like, yeah, like we were in school when this shit was happening on TV, and they talked to us about it because there was no like all we had was newspapers, and the newspapers wouldn't be able to report right away until the day after. You know what I'm saying? So I had to explain to them. I was like, yeah, in like 2001, it's not like you would get updates and news on your phone because you didn't have phones like that. It was just like you would get the newspaper on 9/12 about 9/11, if that makes sense. So the news was always 24 to 12 hours late after, if that makes sense. You are ancient? Not at all. Oh, Mars, what's up? What's going on, Mars? Mars, I was just bringing up how I'm about 5 to 10 years older than some of the bladers. And then they're talking about, yeah, you were around for 9/11. I was like, yep, I was around for 9/11. It's kind of funny to think about. Well, I shouldn't say funny to think about. Maybe I shouldn't say funny to think about. That's a little wrong. But it's a little crazy to think about because, yeah. Actually, I will tell you a funny story. I don't know if this is right to say. I'll say it anyway. But thank you for being here, Mars. I will say something funny. This is how you know I was a dumbass kid. So like 2001, I'm in first. No, I was in second grade because it was September. So 01, 02 would have been my second grade year. Anyway, second grade, and at the house, my brother would always play Mega Man Legends. So Mega Man Legends is like when Mega Man doesn't have the helmet and he runs around and shit. And in the beginning of the game, you have to deal with these pirates. You have to fight these pirates. So there's these pirates that are taking over this town, and you have to fight with them and deal with them, and then liberate the town, and then basically the story starts from there. So you never got into it. Oh, for you talking about Mega Man, or you talking about the cards? My bad, my bad. But yeah, it's. So anyway, we were so obsessed with like the first stages of the game, where Mega Man has to battle the pirates, and then I remember, literally like I wake up one morning, the news is on, people are kind of just watching this shit, like what the fuck are we watching? And basically like the second tower got hit or some shit, so the tower's smoking, Um, and I'm like, damn, what's going on? And they're like, oh, they're saying it's a terrorist attack. And then they're like, I was asking my brother, like, what is a terrorist? Like, what does that mean? So then he's like, oh, it's basically like the pirates. He's basically trying to, use an analogy like it's the pirates, like in Mega Man. I was like, oh, interesting. And then I don't know if like in my mind I thought it was the pirates or if he kept on harping on, some Big Brother shit. If he kept on harping on, going like, oh yeah, the pirates from Mega Man, they're here in real life. They're attacking New York City. Like I don't know if he told me that shit, but I started believing that shit. So then I went to fucking, like I said, caught the school bus, went to school. Um, and it's funny because back then the bus driver used to always just play the radio in the background. Just on the Cube 93 was just some hip hop in the background. And that morning they're listening to the news, or either that or Cube 93 shut down and they just started reporting on the news of New York City. So that was playing in the background, and the kids were like, "Where the fuck is the music? Where the fuck is the music?" Just kind of complaining and shit. And it was like, "No, we got to listen to some news right now on the fucking bus." Anyway, we get to school. Computer teacher in one of the classrooms is like, "Hey, does anyone have any stuff they want to speak about? Like right now, if you have any relatives in New York, you want to speak on that. Now's your time to talk to us about it if you feel a way about it." No one really had anything to say, and I almost damn near stood up and started talking about the pirates. Like, oh man, I heard it was pirates. That's my brother. Like I almost stood up and said some dumbass shit, but like someone told me to just sit down and listen. I was like, maybe I should just sit down and listen because maybe it isn't pirates. I don't know. Like I don't know how a pirate got on a fucking plane. I didn't know how that worked. But yeah, long story short. Roscoe, what's up? I didn't see. My bad. My bad. Mars. Yeah, that's so wild. It's really interesting to think about. You were cutting school when it happened. That's fire though. That's fire. Yeah, 2001 is a little weird because it's like I don't know how to explain this, man. I don't know how to explain this. It's like this is for me. So like 01 to like 2000 and 2001, like around that time period, I was like there was two things that happened in Seattle. One, we witnessed 9/11 as kids, so we're watching this shit on TV and we didn't understand it. Another thing that I think was in the year 2000, if not '01, was an earthquake. So there was an earthquake that happened in Seattle, and I remember like I say this all the time. Like I had this. Everyone, like all these adults now, tell me that I had a premonition. I can't prove it, but that's what they told me. But the way I could say it was like the teacher had us standing up in the front of the class, like kind of like on the side by the cubbies, and we were reciting either like a poem or a song that we're preparing for like what do you call this, like an assembly. So we're standing up there. There's probably some kid fucking up the words, fucking up the notes because the teacher's like, "All right, we gotta stop." Like he kind of stopped us, and then he just was talking to us about like get your notes right, get your da 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 right. Anyway, the teacher's talking to us, and as the teacher's talking to one of my classmates, I'm like, this conversation isn't for me. They're talking to the person who fucked up. So I just decided to look past her. She's sitting down in this little rolly chair. I decided to look past her. I just looked behind her desk, and behind her desk, for some reason I just blinked, and I just saw all of her shit on the ground. I don't know why. I just saw all of her shit, like the books, the VHSs, and her jacket, and all this random bag shit. Like it was just all on the ground. I just saw it, and then I blinked again, and I didn't see it. I was like, that was weird. I didn't think much of it. Literally, like 5 seconds later, the whole fucking ground started shaking. We started running, like, what's going on? We started going under the desk. We're tripping, and some kids are like tripping, like, damn, what is this? This is crazy. Some kids were a little more emotional, but for the most part, we just didn't understand what's going on. And then when we finally, like hours later, were able to get up from under the desk, I looked at her desk area, and everything I had saw from that blink was like there, like all the shit was on the floor. I was like, this is fucking crazy. So I didn't really understand it at the time, but that's what I'm saying. From 2000 to 2001 to '02, like that was a weird stretch of time. I don't know, like some weird shit was happening. And then also the fucking Mariners were in the playoffs because that was like when we had Ichiro and shit. So that was another crazy thing. That was the last time Mariners were in the playoffs, aside from 2000 whatever, 22, 20, whatever the fuck. My bad. I think I thought it was a movie because I remember seeing the second plane clear as day. You're right, and it looked hella crazy. Like you're watching it on TV. Like, what am I looking at? And the shit was just smoking, and then like the camera didn't pan, and it would pan, or like it would go back to like someone reporting on like, well, we got to talk about this other stuff. We got to talk about Pentagon and some other shit. But yeah, I think it fucked me up as a kid. I remember seeing people fall. Yeah, right. See, I didn't see all that. I just looked at it. I remember looking at it and then like just asking like, what the hell? Like, what are we watching? And I just went about my day eating breakfast or some shit. I probably just went and grabbed like a little snack or something and some milk, something funny like that, and then just went about the shit. And caught my school bus. Like it was just crazy. It was just like a crazy time. So yeah, it is kind of interesting because it's like whether it's YouTube or it's like whether it's YouTube live streams or whether it's like the Beyblade space or whatever. I do forget that I deal with people because I'm so used to being like the youngest within like a group or family, like cousins and siblings and shit. Like I'm so used to being the youngest, um, that it fucks me up when I'm around people that are like legit 5 to 10 years younger than me, and they're like, "Damn, you know about this? You seen that?" And I have to explain VHSs to them. Like I'm explaining VHSs and tapes. I'm like, bro, we had to, yeah, we was listening to fucking R&B on tapes. Like there was a time period you could just let a whole R&B CD run, and you would just have the vibe the whole car ride. Or you'd have the vibe the whole time just hanging out at the house. But the tape you had to flip it. You had a side A and a side B, which is funny as hell. You know what I'm saying? That's what was cool about Jodeci, because Jodeci side A on Forever My Lady, the album, fucking Jodeci side A, it's just all slow cuts. It's all like marriage music, love making music. You go to side B, it's just New Jack Swing. That's the funky side. I fuck with B side on that. Anyway, it seemed a little weird at the time, but it was really happening. The teacher left the room to call her family in New York. I think the news kind of showed it all as it unfolded. Yeah, it was kind of weird. I wasn't even really a person yet when 9/11 happened. That's what someone else is saying. I can't remember who. Someone else said that. Someone else brought that up. How they're like they were either just a thought or they were just like a toddler, like they were still like in someone's belly or something. And it is kind of funny because like my niece is born in '05, so it's just like when we talk to her about these things, we're like, you missed the whole plot. But then it's funny because I always felt like I missed out on what happened in like the '70s, like late '60s, early '70s. Like I thought that like when you look back at like civil rights movement and all the shit that was happening in that time period, like people got to see Bruce Lee movies when they came out. Like you know what I mean? Think about that shit. Bruce Lee movies were brand new. They came out. Muhammad Ali was still fighting. Like people were just being empowered. You know what I'm saying? There was a whole lot of like I mean I'm a person of color, so like that's how I feel. Like that shit. Like you imagine like everyone getting hyped up. You seen like Bruce Lee fucking throw down in a movie. You see Muhammad Ali just like doing the things he's doing on all scales, on all levels. And then you also get to see what's it called? Fuck, I'm forgetting the dude's name, man. Dude in the fucking Olympics, the dude that ran track or whatever. I forget his name, man. But you know what I'm saying? Like you get to see all this shit 60s, 70s. But it's kind of interesting because like the vibe that came from that era. I was just talking to my friend who visited us on Sunday, and because me and him used to organize, I was like, it's crazy. Like we used to always hear about the '60s, '70s era, but me and him, we went through that in 2010. Or sorry, 2013, 14. We went through the same phase where it's just like, yo, politics and like organization in the city and everyone being tight and everyone smoking together. You know what I'm saying? Everyone smoking together, everyone catching visions together, eating edibles together. All that like hippie type shit, all that shit was happening in like 2013, 2014. But it's just like you look back, you're like, bro, that was a time when everybody was united and it was like a cool thing. And then we're just in this weird post world crazy. I don't know. My bad. It was still in their daddy nutsack back in 2000. They was still in there. Mic is a little close, by the way. Oh my bad. It is. It's also like a So this is the best mic I can use for what is it called without catching like the wind and shit in the background. So if it sounds a little muffled and rough, I also have been using this mic for like a good year. My bad. All right, let me adjust my collar. And it's funny, Mars, because like you're used to hearing me when I have my headphones in, and my headphones sound way better than this mic. So I'll say that much too. Now there's a dude, I forgot his name, but remember he they got the gold medal at the Olympics and he pumped the black fist right in front of everybody. That dude right there, I forgot his name, bro. He in the track. There's that dude, and then you also had like you gotta think that's like an Arthur Ashe era, low key. Arthur Ashe, because Arthur Ashe is pre-crack. It's just crazy. Like you kind of think and fantasize that shit. But that's why I try to document like these times now. Like it doesn't matter what I'm doing. Like doesn't matter if like Pokemon cards, Beyblade, whatever. Like and just even walking around. Like you see me walking around filming like first person view certain buildings and shit because like this might be gentrified even more. This place might get demolition. Who knows? So I just sat there and like documented stuff because I was like, I want to say I was a little more present in each year and each season. I just want to say that at least. I want to brag about that a bit. I don't know, but yeah, Bruce. I don't think it was Bruce Jenner. I don't think it was Bruce Jenner though. It was there's a dude. I forget his name, man. It's gonna fuck me up. But it's just the amount of Olympians and stuff. Yeah, the amount of black and brown Olympians during that time period was just like an empowering thing. Sugar Ray Leonard fighting the way he did. Roberto Duran and those guys fighting to the end. Muhammad Ali in his last years. You know what I'm saying? Like you had all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like people were learning about MLK from a newspaper, if not like the actual black and white TV. Like shit like that. Like you think about that shit where it's just like that was a time period where like people fantasize and they have like documentaries about. But at the same time, in this time period, it's like, oh yeah, there's things that are of equivalent value, but enough decades haven't passed up yet for us to value it. That's one way to look at it. But then two, the other way to look at it is like um, the way that news travels and the way that social media is structured now, everything just gets clowned on and trolled, even if it's valuable. And we didn't even really value Kobe until he died. Like that's one thing that kind of fucked me up was like people would just always bring up kind of the negative side or like the possible, what do you call this? I don't know what the word is, like controversial shit. Like they always bring up controversial shit with people rather than the actual accolades and like the things that they've done. Because a lot of these people are like actually spending time in certain communities helping people, even if they make one mistake. That's one way to look at it too. But anyway, my bad. Remind me to show you the Braille Pokemon deck. Yeah. So Rob, I don't know if you know, but Mars is like we call Mars the blind blader because Mars is legit blind. Mars walks around with a walking stick, comes to Beyblade meetups and Beyblade tournaments, and just whips the shit out of people. Just they know how to tell what blade it is based off of the feel and the shape and the texture, and they be fucking people up at tournaments. And don't be humble about it, Mars. You're in the chat. Go ahead and talk your shit. You know, praise yourself. Why not, right? I went to we had a tournament like how many weeks ago? Like I think it was like last month or a week ago. I can't remember. I'm losing track of time here. And then me and Mars had to play to 4 points. I got 4-0. I got fucked up. I was like, damn man, I'm getting swept. And like I said, Mars can't see, and they're out here whooping me. That's cool. Yeah, right. Outside today. What's going on, Melon? Matter of fact, since Mars and Melon are here, let's do this. Good that they're here. Good to see you, Melon. Here we go. F. I went 3-3. My bad. Wait, I gotta read this again. 3-3 last time. 3-3 last time? I don't remember that. Oh, you talking about for yeah, that was TTV though. Yeah. TTV was rough for a lot of people. I don't think the only person who was undefeated was Alchemist at TTV. And then he showed up and I think he lost the first round because he ran into BC Pause. But that was crazy. That was crazy, man. But yeah, Melon, thank you for dropping in. Mars, thank you for dropping in. I'm just hanging out outside for another, what is it, man? I don't know. We might make it to an hour. I don't know. I'm just rambling. Now. I haven't done like a live since that one last week in the morning when Rob was there when my shit got taken down. That was crazy. But yeah, it's interesting, man. It's an interesting time period. Like I guess I just urge everyone to be a little more, present and cognizant. You don't necessarily have to film and record everything. You don't have to think of it in terms of content or whatever. Did I step on something? Okay, I was about to say that I stepped on a. I was like, damn, this grass is soft. I was mad for a second. I was hella mad. But yeah, just be present. Even if you're with family and friends, just kind of be in the moment and enjoy it. It's these decades here are. There's something of value when you think about it. When you really look back, people do this all the time. Though they look back at least a year, anywhere from a year to 5 to 10 years, because time is moving a little faster now, and trends and whatnot they kind of speed up in a different way. Um, it's something of value, man. You really look back, and it's just like, yeah, this was a time period. Like even a year or 5 from now, we'll look back at this time where it's like, man, remember we had those tournaments? Remember we went out and just did this, that, and the third? And it's like you can sometimes carry the energy forward, but you know how it is, man. People live their lives, and people's lives get affected. People, there's people I met from the beginning of tournaments that I went to, and there was one person that I met. I don't know if I should shout them out because they're actually homeless right now, but I don't know if they are still. But I remember there was a time period I would see them at like every tournament. I went to like 3 or 4 at the time, and then they didn't show up, and I was keeping in touch with them because I had sent them a video clip of them in their battles, and then they were like, "Yeah, I can't come back to tournaments for a while." I was like, "What happened?" I was like, I got into some situation where they ended up being homeless and they're just living in a shelter. So they had to sell all of the stuff or give it away. It was kind of messed up, It was like they sold all the things, gave it away, and they're just living in the shelter for a while. And it's interesting because they wanted to come to a tournament, and they were kind of being denied because the person they were, I'll just kind of long story short, one of the organizers that they were speaking with was saying, "Hey, if you're coming to this tournament, be sure you have deodorant, etc." And then they were like, "Hey, what about if I'm living out of a shelter, do I still have to abide by this? And I was like, they're like, hey, if you are living out of shelter, that's unfortunate. Maybe you have to take care of that first before you get your affairs in order before you participate again. But hopefully you figure that out. And it just became an emotional thing, and I don't think they ever got back on their feet. But you meet people like that where it's just like time. I don't know. Time in life just affects them a certain way, and it takes them out the game. So I appreciate people in the moment as much as possible, man, because I don't know if I ever see them again. And hey, man, you never know if they'll see me again either. So I just try to give them a good time or whatever. Pause on that. My bad. I missed a thing. Do a flip. I wish I could. I'm not that what's the word? Dexterous. Dexterous. What's the right way to say it? Dexterous, dexterous, dex, dexterous, dexterous. I don't know. Tomato, tomato. Actually, when I was a kid, I was able to do like, well, you're lighter when you're a kid. I was able to do like cartwheels and shit. I probably secretly know how to do a backflip, but I'm not gonna try it here. It ain't worth the try. It ain't worth it. I see people eating ice cream over here. I kind of want one. I kind of want some. But yeah, I think about that shit. I forgot why we spoke about this. It was something about, oh yeah, being years apart from people. I guess I'll say that. Yeah, just value that time period, man. Like I think about this too, where it's like, if I can go back to middle school, high school, or whatever, I would be a little more. I would be like a little, like, what's the word, like less shameless, and I would go out to dances or something because I just was never a dancing person. You know what I'm saying? Like I literally, I had dropped out of school already, but when my class became seniors, 2012, when my class became seniors, like literally like three of these girls had invited me to their proms, and I was just like, I don't be dancing, so I just told them no. I don't dance. I ain't going to no damn prom. That's just how I felt. You know what I'm saying? You shoot on the grass. You're right though. I shoot on the grass, but I don't know how to. I just don't know how to flip. I don't know how to backflip. I wish I knew how to backflip. I wish I was that athletic. I guess I'm not though. That might be actually. I've been surprising myself. I don't say I surprise myself every year, but every once in a while, I surprise myself with like a physical feat, whatever. You didn't get an alert yesterday? Oh, for which one? I bet. Hold on. Let me check something too. Make sure I didn't get no notifications. Um, but yeah, it's really a thing. Yeah, just being less shameless as time moves forward, man. Just trying to take advantage of the moments here. You know what I mean? Also, this man, like I thought about it. I was saying this earlier, Mars and Mello. It's like my first tournament was July 27 last year, so like I'm getting close to that year mark, which is gonna be like next week or some shit, and or like a couple of days actually. Um, but yeah, to think what like the amount of shit that I participated between then till now, and then how much I documented. Like I want people to look back at it like, yeah, that was a time period when like we're all, us specifically, we're all in this room together, us in this part of this community, and this energy that we're providing here. We're in this space here, and that happened all 2024 and 2025. That was a school year. It was basically a fucking school year. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I have a playlist that I put together with like all the fucking events that we've been doing, um, from July last year to July this year. That's gonna be my yearbook. I'm gonna post that playlist in the fucking Discord. Shit crazy, you know. Oh, Mars, how do you like the new chat? We got to tell Mello about the new chat. We'll message him directly about it. Just funny, you know. There's a whole new VC if you didn't know. Yeah, I don't know if he knows, but yeah, we got God. I think for wait, my bad. What were you speaking about, Mars? You said you didn't get an alert, and then we got God. What does that mean? I don't know if I'm missing out on something. Oh shit, stepped on some shit. Some tits like right here. Mars, I don't know if I'm reading that right. Let me know. Let me know. But yeah, um, that's the other thing too, man. I gotta figure out what's next. I basically did my year for Beyblade, you know. So I don't know if I'm like on full retirement mode or what. I don't know if I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to stop playing if that makes sense. You know, I think I'm done purchasing stuff. That's why I'm trying to buy so much shit this week. Neo keeps on posting plastics and metal, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta buy. If I see some shit I like and I could afford it, fuck it. And I saw that there's like one blade and like a handle and a grip. I feel like I don't really need the handle and grip. I just kind of need more blades. So like I'm just gonna buy more shit. So I've been listening to talking to Game Blade and Neo more past couple of days, and even Bogey Drowns is busy, man. He's like playing Gundam Wing and shit while he's on the chat. But like, yes, whoever the fuck knows about metal, I'm just trying to stack up on that. That's how I feel about it. That's where I'm at with it right now. So I don't know. I got to figure out what the next year is going to be. I have an idea of like I said earlier in the chat. Um, I already have my idea for the stuff I was doing earlier today at the library. I was printing out these papers and trying to get the format correct. Sat there, zoomed out, did a little bit of scrunching on the artwork, printed out these new pieces of paper, score sheets for battles that I'm going to do, battles that I'm going to record and do, 3-on-3 matches, teams, mascots, you know what I'm saying, team names, emblems that I AI created and all that funny shit. I'm telling you, man, like I just got shit in the works, but like in terms of Beyblade, it's like I'm gonna kind of pull back a little bit and just figure out what happens next, because every now and again life be throwing some shit at me. Like even last year, this is the point I'm making. Last year, I kept playing around. I was talking to my niece and her boyfriend. He grew up on like Metal Fight or some shit. So I kept on bringing up. I was like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna find a Beyblade tournament one day. I just kept joking around saying this shit. I was like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna find a Beyblade tournament. And then one day we looked it up. We actually looked it up, and then I was, hey, there's gonna be one in like next weekend in Sumner. I was like, should I go? He was like, I don't know. You probably should. I was like, do you guys want to come with me? Like, no, I don't think I can. I was like, oh, fuck it, because I don't like waiting for people and shit. I don't like waiting for I just don't like waiting for people sometimes. So I was like, what, man, they can't decide whether they want to come or not, so I'm gonna just go myself. So I 2 hour bus ride down to Sumner, some fucking sundown town type shit. Walked through that, made it to the church. I'm like, this is different. Yep, had my first tournament, and it just kind of fell in my lap at that point. Same thing with the cards, man. I was just buying cards to collect it because I just had it. But I got to figure out what the next year is going to be. I just got to keep figuring out what each year is going to bring. So I don't need to figure out something right away. In like come August or September, it's just when it happens, it's going to happen. But I already have thoughts and ideas. But like I said, I'm leaving it open ended until I find something to commit to. Because my Pokemon card journey started in like March. That was like March 20. I don't even know, bro. That might have been probably 2023, because it was like a year after my mom died. So my mom had died, and then I don't know, like mom died. I got into investing. I mean, I was already doing it, but I did it like a little more heavier just to make my money back and pay shit off. You know what I'm saying? But then like I was like, damn, I'm doing all this money, spending it on like drinks and stocks, and I just went and flipped that joint, started getting the cars, getting the two of everything, and I did the same thing in Beyblade, two of everything. So I don't need to necessarily carry on the tradition of collecting and two of everything. However, I do got to find something. I feel like I need to do something new. Just keep myself on my toes. Find something more productive and creative to get into. You know what I'm saying? There's so much stuff I've done before just in past years. Whether it's like working with people or just collaborating um, with people from afar, or doing things on my own. I've always tried to figure out something new to do. Like if you check the channel, like everything's there. Like what I'm saying? Everything's there. Like new album coming out in September. You know what I'm saying? All that's been in the works. Like all that shit's like old files that were on the computer finally got slightly mixed and mastered by a friend. He took care of the shit. It's gonna come out. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like stuff like that's always been in the works. Like maybe less Beyblade content, but I'm still gonna be at tournaments and meetups. You see what I'm trying to say? Like I'm always involved with certain things. Like in the card game stuff, it's like I know it enough to just be like I collect it. I like what I'm looking at. I like my certain cards. I like my certain trainers. Boom, you collect those. That's it. Boxing training, show up when I can. Music, create when I can. Art, draw when I can. All that's just like there. But it's just like, what's the next thing to kind of just keep me on my toes and just expand my whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to learn everything. That's just how I am, bro. Because for years I thought I had this. Not saying it's wrong, but like for years I thought I had to just do one thing. But I realized I enjoy learning shit. Teach me some new shit. Show me some new shit. Go visit a new city. Go find out what's going on here. Maybe I need to be around this type of setting. You understand? Shit, I've been saying this a long time. I was like, I've been entertaining moving to Texas. I might just end up doing a, you know, weekly barbecue vlog, some funny ass shit like that. I don't know. Like whatever happens, happens. What I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? Seattle food vlog. Just all these are just thoughts and ideas. That like, why not? You know what I'm saying? I don't know how many more. Like, think about this, right? You see how this is good weather? In Seattle, it's like you have 8 to 9 months of like overcast and clouds and cold weather. Right now, it's pretty good. It's like 70, mid 70s, feels like 80s at you know around like 2 o'clock. It felt like 80s, right? Anyway, the point I'm saying is that how many more summers am I gonna get like this? I don't know. Like I'm just being practical here. I'm being honest. Like I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? The like I'm not trying to be funny, but it's like a health condition can happen to me. The next equivalent to like a 9/11 thing can happen to the city. Like I don't know. And for that, I just have to keep doing things. I got to do something in the now. That's just the way I feel about life sometimes. It's just like, look, why not act on it? If it's a good act of kindness, if it's a good thing for myself in terms of empowering or learning some shit, why not go for it? That's just the way I feel about some shit. Some shit sometimes, whatever. I'm over here jumbling my words. I need to get some water. What the fuck? Damn. But yeah, bro. I'm over here rambling. That's what we do. If you never been to the live chat, that's all I do, man. Just rambling and shit. If it was the morning, you see me rambling and chug a coffee. If it's daytime, I'd be like rambling, chug some water, like some random ass soda. I need to stop fucking with the soda. It's funny. I need to stop fucking with the soda, but Gameblade knows, man. Like yesterday, I was on the voice chat with him. I walked to the corner store. I grabbed a honey bun, and I grabbed the last green apple Fago that I seen in the fucking refrigerator. I was like, "What? They got green apple Fagos?" And then Gameblade's like, "I didn't know they had those." And then out of nowhere, the fucking cashier dude who runs the shop, he walked next to me, stocking the refrigerator next to me. I said, "Hey, this is some brand new shit." I pulled out the green apple Fago. He looked at it. He was like, "I think it's new. I never seen that myself." I was like, "Well, then you guys are selling it." Bought that shit. Terrible, terrible, bro. Was it the honey barbecue, whatever, Fritos and honey bun, green apple Fago? It was just some straight fat boy shit the other day, man. Like I was falling asleep. Like I ate that shit. I was like, yeah, I'm about to fall asleep right here. I'm not gonna lie. About to pass out eating this junk food and doing too good off this. But then I got a burger later. Got some real food. Some like real grilled shit, real grilled up burger shit with some like not just a plain old beef patty with cheese. Like we're talking about tomato, lettuce, all that. Like a burger, like pickles and shit. Krabby Patty type shit. That's how we're living. Doing pretty good. But yeah, I think about that shit, man. I gotta figure out what's life is short, man. Life is short. I gotta figure out what to do next. Whether it's entertaining or whether it's just for the soul and for the spirit, man. Hopefully, hopefully in the future, things don't get so like. Hopefully, like here's what I'm trying to say, right? Hopefully things don't go back to the Stone Ages sooner than later. Hopefully we stay in this high tech era. Hopefully we get to see the Jetsons lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like hopefully we get to see the Jetsons type of world. And I think we're on track. I'm an optimistic person. I'm optimistic. So I like to believe that we're gonna maybe not in my lifetime, but maybe like in the next couple generations it'll become some Jetsons type of shit. But the way things speed up right now, we don't know. We may or may not see that, we may or may not. I don't know. But if that's the case, then back to digital footprints, content like this and things on YouTube will continue to exist. So everything that I'm making this year will hopefully exist in the next 10 years, if not the 20, if not 30. So that's just the way I look at it. People will look back at this time period like, damn, Beyblade X was really a thing. Damn, stadiums look so funny. Oh, what is that rail? Like people are gonna look at it a certain way. It's like, oh, look at these cards. Like that's why like when those first I was talking to someone about this. I was like, when they released those first Scarlet and Violet cards and they had the silver gray border, I was like, okay, this is the start of a new era. I want to be there for the start of the new era. I kind of missed out on the base set stuff. I was a little kid enjoying cars, but I didn't keep those in good condition. They're somewhere around, if not sent to the Philippines. It's one or the other. But it's funny because I'm looking at this shit like, okay, this is the start of a new era. Let's get on to it. Get on top of it. Start doing that shit. I got to figure out what's next. I don't know what's next, and I like it, bro. I like being in the dark about that stuff because it keeps me on my toes, man. Keeps me looking forward to what's you get what I'm trying to say, bro. I'm over here repeating myself. I'm just affirming myself over and over. I'm just repeating myself. That's all I'm doing. That's also why I got the. I don't know if you can see. I gotta walk a little closer. That's also why I got the Venom shirt too. I don't know if you can really see it. I got the Venom shirt. I always fuck with Eddie Brock because all Eddie Brock does, when you think about it, Eddie Brock, aka Venom, all that motherfucker do is talk to himself. That's all I do. Shit, I just be talking to myself. If we're not reaffirming ourselves, what I'm saying? We just over here brainstorming. That's all I do. Just rambling, getting to it, getting through it. Get crazy. I'm wondering if I should grab the ice cream. I'm really thinking about this now. The people left, so I'm no longer pressured to grab any. But I'm just thinking about it. I'm getting bitten by some bugs though. Getting bitten by these bugs, man. Might start moving in a second. What time are we at? 55. Oh, time. Damn, time flying. Time is flying. Like I said, man, sun is setting around 9:30, which is good. I like being out of the house. I'd rather be outside in the sunlight and heat. Not that I was in the sunlight and heat today, but I prefer doing that than being like in the heat of the house. I hate being inside the house when it's hot. It's like I'd rather get some sunlight, be a little whatever. But I've been indoors for so damn long, just taking care of video stuff and like the actual channel that I gotta get back on top of this stuff. My bad. So yeah, man, trying to stay productive out here. Let's do this. Let me shut them down, open up shop. I thought I was gonna grab some snacks, but you know what, man? We ain't doing that today. See, the thing here's my thing, right? Summertime, I fuck with like wearing like you know like t-shirts and shorts. Just being like comfortable in the summertime. T-shirts, shorts, just what I'm saying, you sweating and all that. You just comfortable clothes, right? My beef is that because you got bare skin exposed, it's just nasty when like a fly gets on your fucking skin, like just flying and touching your shins and your arms and shit. Like I hate that shit. It is what it is though. There's places that like it's not as bad as I've been in humid places where it's just like hell of mosquitoes fucking you up. Or they're just trying to taste you. Pause. And it's hectic. Shit is hectic. But yeah, man, I say all that bullshit to say, man, life is short, man. Do what you want to do and do right by people. That's it. That's it. You know, not too many. The ingredients for just a happy, peaceful life. It ain't not as complex as people make it. You know, and I say that with like humbleness because it's interesting, man. It's like I'm just saying personally, I've dealt with people feeding me the complexities. Like I have to be a certain thing, I gotta be a certain way. But really, when you let go and just find out, like honestly, I'm happy with these people. I'm happy in this setting, this place. These people look, they don't tolerate me. They actually like love me here. When you just kind of go places where you're loved and whatnot, and you can share that same energy and it's reciprocated. So why would you not go there? You know, I'm coming from a place where I grew up thinking everything had to be some form of conflict or like if it's not a struggle, we're not getting anywhere. If we're not fighting through this. I've been in relationships where I'm like, well, I guess I'm gonna stay in this relationship and fight with her, fight for her, etc. It's just a waste of fucking time and energy, bro. You know what I'm saying? People do not have your best interest. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Fuck them and just go do things, go learn some shit, and go be happy. That's it. That's it. Learn some shit and be happy. That's why every time if people know me in person, like one thing I do, I check on them. But then the other thing, I usually ask a lot of questions because I'm just trying to learn some shit or pick people's brains, trying to figure some shit out. Like I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I just sometimes it might come across that way because I'm asking hella questions. But I'm like, I'm just trying to learn some shit, really. If not learn about you, but that's about it. That's it, man. So be where the happiness is and be happy. That's it. I think about that a lot, man. I think about that where it's like some days I'm like, am I challenging myself? Am I avoiding certain places and spaces and whatnot? Well, I'm about to walk through a spider web. Hold on. My bad, dog. Oop, oop. No, he good. He good. The spider web right there. That's where his home is. I don't want to take him home. Fucking random red spider just end up on my shirt. We symbiotes out here, man. Symbiote shit. But shout out to Spider-Man. Shout out to Peter. Yeah. Damn, what's I saying? Yeah, man. Just be happy. That's the thing, bro. I look, you need to move. Like I thought about this a lot. I gotta move where there's more sunlight, man. I've been here for too long. So it's fucked up because I met so many cool people that moved here. My cousin moved up here too a long time ago from Alabama, And I be telling her, I'm like, damn, I'm about to move to Texas, eat barbecue and mac and cheese all fucking day. That's all I'm gonna do. Eat fucking ribs and mac and cheese. That's all I'm gonna eat. You know what I'm saying? Fuck dessert. Dessert is ribs and mac and cheese. That's all we're gonna eat. As I'm about to blow up too. Just get like 250 and be 250 pounds, whatever. And then she was just like, damn, man, I'm not gonna have no one to talk with anymore. Can't chop it up with you no more. And I forget about that, where it's like, a lot of my friends who moved here, friends and family that moved here. But then I've been here my whole life, so it's like, damn, I gotta go. I gotta make plans for that. I keep talking about it, and it's time to like finally execute that. I don't know when I'm gonna execute it, but I gotta do it. I don't know when. Shit. And it's my bad. That's what I was gonna say. I keep thinking it's gonna be like I go down south and become a fat ass and eat barbecue all day. That's all I want to do. I just want to become like, 5'5" and obese. That's what my plan. I'm gonna be 5'5" and obese and just eat ribs and. But it's funny. Like there's so much Texas heat that you probably burn that shit because everyone I saw, whether they were running or jogging or just walking down the street, they were kind of fit. I was like, these people are kind of fit, man. They're just burning off like clean ass ribs because the ribs over there, they're not like GMO and shit or whatever. They're not like. I'm halfway being funny, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like they what's the word, bro? They be cooking that shit all day. You know what I'm saying? 2 hours before the doors open, they already got that shit steaming in the fucking grill or whatever. Little whatever that shit called. I forgot that shit called. That's fucked up. The barbecue, whatever. Get that half pound. But I was saying this shit because I'm like, I keep thinking I'm gonna go down south to get some of that heat, which I think I need. I think I need to get some heat. But like I said, I was watching the dude's video earlier today in Japan. Hey man, Japan got some good ass food too. Like I'm kind of low with Japanese food sometimes, but I also haven't had like Japan or Japanese food at the source. You know what I'm saying? Just move to Japan or just visit. Maybe I'll just visit first, splurge or whatever. Go out there, eat some food from the source. Because when you're here, you're just eating like I ain't gonna say the replica. That's kind of rude, but you might go to a authentic Japanese joint, but the main thing is like sometimes they don't have the exact ingredients. They don't have the exact salmon or the exact eel that would have been caught on the waters or the coast of Japan, and that's not being put on the actual sushi, if that makes sense. So that's the way I look at it, where it's like, I say this shit all the time, where it's like, you know what I'm saying? He should be all right, man. You know where to find me, Rob. Appreciate it, bro. What was I gonna say? Same thing. I feel that way with Filipino food. Sometimes it's like when I went back home and ate that shit, or not that I'm from there, but when I went there to visit and eat that shit, I was like, you know what, man, this shit at the source is different. Especially when you start eating like the squid and the chicken. I had the squid and the chicken there for the first time, the street food, and it was so fresh. Like it was just like I'm not explaining, man. It's like you eat chicken here, it's lean, so you digest it fast because it's chicken, it's poultry. But like over there, that shit is quick. Like I don't know how to explain. That shit is just. April, what's going on, April? I ain't seen you in a long time. Well, I also haven't done like a live stream in a minute, but I do remember you. April Sailor is back in the building. You got the FedEx truck right there. What are they doing? Yeah, I be thinking about that shit. You go back to it's, but that's American food for you, man. That's the thing. That's the way I look at this. I like American food. I like living in America. Don't get me wrong. I'm born and raised here, but you gotta go like down south is what I'm trying to say. Down south in certain places where they really take time to like steam and cook the meat all day. Do things right, season it correctly. Things like that. Doing things correctly, man. Because when you go out the country, when you go to fucking I haven't been to Japan. Well, I was stuck in the airport in Japan, so that doesn't count. But when you go to the Philippines and shit like that, they do the food right. They take the ingredients native to the area that are in abundance in the area. They utilize it. You know what I'm saying? And Japan, I'm sure they do the same thing. And I'm like, I might have to live out there, but I'm also like, they got like some harsh winters. Like it'd be snowing kind of crazy over there, so I don't know. You fell in softball and broke your knee? What? How does that work? Were you sliding for the base? You said you fell though, so it wouldn't have been a slide. Yeah, I guess it wouldn't have been a slide. But how did you fall? What did you fall on? Obviously, you fell on your knee or something that was equivalent to the knee. But yeah, that's kind of crazy. When you say you broke your knee, are you telling me that it's sprained, as in you'll come back, or are you going to be out for a while? Like, you gonna be out for a couple of weeks, a couple of months? Let me know how that is, man. Let me know how that is. That shit. I've broken a lot of bones growing up. Actually, that's another thing too, man. So on my mom's side, they got bone issues and fucking high blood pressure, diabetes, all that good stuff. And my dad's side, kind of the same thing, but they have heart issues, heart conditions. And a lot of the men, like a lot of my uncles and shit, a lot of them have died from some form of enlarged heart or just like some kind of cardiovascular thing. So I have heart issues and bone issues, and I've dealt with that shit my whole life as a kid. Like, I had like a I had a fractured ankle, sprained ankle a couple times. I fucked up my shoulder when I was a kid. What I'm saying? I split the bone in half in one of my not the knuckles, but like back of my hand bones type shit. I fucked up a lot of bones and shit like that. I feel I never went to the hospital for heart problems, but every now and again I feel that shit, and I just when I feel that shit in an extreme way, I ain't gonna lie. I put on my running shoes. I start running. I start sprinting. I'm like, yep, get some workout and get some cardio in. You know what I'm saying? Fuck heart disease. You gonna work out. But my thing is because of these health conditions, that's why I'm like, I just know life is short. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people in my family died young just from health issues and shit. I think my mom was like 64 when she died, and people are like, that's young. And like, when you think about it, like she was a grandma. Like my oldest brother, my mom was able to meet my oldest brother's kids, but at the same time, it's like, you would hope a grandparent gets to be like in the 80s at least. So it's almost like she had 20 years on her life that she didn't necessarily get a chance to live, if that makes sense. But you know, it's crazy, man. I'm telling you, a lot of my uncles they died in their 50s and shit. Like my grandpa, he has 7 sons, and like I swear, like 4 of them died before my grandpa died. So he had to live through knowing that 4 of his sons died before him, type shit. That's the curse of being healthy, man. Everybody dies before you, but at the same time, like you gotta think like just in case you end up like them, you gotta really live it up. You know what I'm saying? Live your fucking life, man. That's how I be feeling every day, man. Go get some work done. If you don't know how to make people happy, make yourself happy. Fuck it. As long as you ain't hurt nobody, that's my main thing. As long as you're not hurting nobody. You said you were at first base, girl was running, and I was so close to staying up on my feet, but no, face first into a rock hard field. Yeah, yeah. You guys weren't playing like an actual, like standard baseball field. You guys are just playing like a park. That's rough though. That's crazy. It's funny. I was hold on, man. That's funny. There's another. I forget. Maybe I won't say her name, but there's another streamer I follow, and she does softball on the side. Like if she's not doing video games, she does softball, which is really interesting. It was tournaments. Oh, so this is like a legit game. That's crazy though. Yeah, I used to feel that way with football, man. You be seeing kids with football injuries growing up. Softball, I guess I never really thought about softball and baseball. Some shit will happen to you too. I mean, people be twisting ankles and shit, so I get it. That makes sense, actually. Yeah, that's really interesting. But yeah, I'm looking getting kind of hungry. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm getting kind of hungry here. Fuck. Yeah. But yeah, man. Like, for anyone that's new to the lives and whatnot, I haven't done these in a while. I think last time I did it, like I was talking to Rob about, my stream got cut off. Like suddenly. I've been trying to space them out like every 4 or 7 days or something like that. Kind of just like in the time periods that I'm not doing anything or not going on what's it called, not going on live, that I'm just getting work done. Like if I'm not recording some videos, I'm editing something. You know what I mean? Just always trying to get something done. But yeah, one of my friends, he's actually a coach at the gym. And he was telling me, yeah, stop and smell the flowers sometimes, man. I was like, yeah, you're right. I gotta remember to slow down every now and again. you know, enjoy things and be in the moment a little more. But yeah, man. You tap into the live streams, you're gonna hear some serious shit from time to time. I like to joke around with people, but I gotta keep it real too, because I haven't had like I haven't had the what do you call this? I haven't had the best cards dealt to me. I haven't had the most privilege that other people have to be fucking around all the time. Therefore, I be doing shit to the max sometimes. Shit loud as shit, man. I can't hear nothing. Hold on. It's like hella buses and shit nearby. My bad. It's hella loud. Anyway, um, yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm locked in every day. If I don't utilize all the hours in the day, at least I get one thing done. That's how I feel sometimes, man. But we getting close. Getting up in here. You know, don't waste no hours of the day, y'all. All right. Don't waste no hours of the day. Get something done. Get something done. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. Peace. I'm out of here. I have to go get something to eat.